I bleed silver and black, and I wear it with pride. Hold my shield to the sky. I'm a Raider for life. 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 I'm a Raider for life.
Touchdown, Raiders!
What's going on, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Mikey Raider, coming to you with a Sunday morning video about Super Bowls and conspiracies, and with some opinions on the latest news for the Raiders. What's going on? Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of this channel for future exclusive content. Become a member of our Raiders Roundtable. That will happen as soon as possible during the off season, where you can be a member and we can talk Raiders live on a Raiders Roundtable each and every Friday. I've been a little bit busy and a lot of things are going on. I get overwhelmed and I just have not been able to do a Raiders Roundtable for 2 weeks. But that will be changing. So become a member, and if you'd like to pick up some old school merchandise that is a little bit available, links are down below, I believe. And more importantly, thank you guys for the support, the donations, the memberships. It helps me to buy some tacos and pay my damn bills and stay alive. That being said, what's going on in Raiderland? Well, we just signed our head coach. We just signed Tim Telesco as our general manager. And now we're all wondering who's going to be our offensive coordinator. Patrick Graham was in the building during the press conference with Tom Telesco and Antonio Pierce. And just to recap the press conference, the introductory press conference, that was amazing. It was fun to watch. And it was very interesting. And I wasn't able to do a reaction video live. But here's my insights from that introductory press conference. First off, Antonio Pierce is still being Antonio Pierce. He's still representing that LA Raider swag and stuff like that when he's speaking. He did try to get the press corps into a Raiders thing, and he's done that now about 10 times. And not that it's wearing thin, and if you're winning, it'll never wear thin. But when the other people don't understand that Raider spirit or that Raider swag, it's hard to excite somebody that doesn't understand what we're wearing and what we're feeling. And it just comes off as a little strange and forceful. And I think that's what a few people are seeing, and they're like, come on, Antonio, it's starting to look cringe. Not that the saying is cringe. It's just from him trying to bring people into that culture, into that feeling, when they will truthfully never understand it. And even the reporters like Hondo Carpenter say, I'm not a Raider fan. I just work for the team. But I do kind of, root for them. It's like, you don't get it. Get the F out. So that's what bothers me about that. But you still got to love Antonio Pierce's spirit for trying to do that. And the more times he does it, maybe he'll brainwash some of these dudes into finding that darkness, joining the dark. I don't know. But a lot of people are saying, man, it's getting old real quickly. And if we do have a losing season, it'll get old real quickly. But that being said, he should only do it after victories. I don't know. You guys can figure that out on yourselves. Let me know your thoughts on that subject. And then during the press conference, people started questioning, who's they're going to be their defensive coordinator. And Antonio Pierce said, hey, there's Patrick Graham. You're looking good. Nice to see you. Because Patrick Graham has been going out on interviews, and he hasn't got a head coaching job. I'm sure he probably has gotten maybe defensive coordinator, interviews, but he cannot do interviews for defensive coordinator with another team because he's under contract with the Raiders as a defensive coordinator. But if he were to move up in the ranks, that's why he's allowed to go out for head coaching jobs. And I think the 2 or 3 of them that he's done, nothing has come from it. So that's why he's still basically back in the Raiders building. And he's probably going to, which is a good thing because we all enjoy what he brought to the team. He's probably going to have to stay with the Raiders as a defensive coordinator. Now, if Mark Davis can figure out a way to give him a bonus to make him even happier, that'd be great. Maybe that's why Antonio Pierce said, it's good to have you here at the press conference, maybe to meet the new general manager or whatever. But that was an interesting tidbit in the press conference. Another interesting note from Antonio Pierce was when he said, they go, what do you need from the offense moving forward? And he said, 24 points. Straight up 24 points. Because Wi-Fi really thought it was a dig at Josh McDaniels. Everything's a dig at Josh McDaniels. But you need 24 points on offense to win almost any game in this league anymore, especially in our division. So that's what he meant. I don't think it was technically a dig at Josh McDaniels, but it could be considered that way. But I just love the fact that he just straight up bluntly said it. What do you need on offense? Some other coaches might say, we need to get better here. We need to do this here. He said 24 points. It's like a straight man's answer. It's like a simpleton answer. It's like a simple Jack answer. Simple Jack, you never go full retard. Simple Jack from that movie. But I just love it. What do you need? 24 points? So that made me laugh, made me just be like, yeah, that's what I'm talking. That's what we need. We need 24 points, and we hold them under 20, and we win. Simple answers, simple truth for a simple team, Other standouts from the press conference is people want to know, what Tom Telesco or Tom to effing know, whatever nickname you give him. Some people are calling him Pee Wee Herman. Some people are calling him Pee-wee because he looks like a Pee-wee. So that's pretty interesting, man. And I hope that don't stick because it emasculates him as a general manager. And speaking of emasculation, that's what a lot of the reporters were asking questions about. Because Antonio Pierce technically got the job publicly before Tom Telesco. And they didn't know if he approved or he didn't approve or how that went around with Mark Davis. And Tom Telesco said, hey, when I was hired, I knew that Antonio Pierce was the coach. Does that mean he actually knew that Mark Davis hired him before him? Or were they a tag team together? I think he was just saying that in his mind, because of everything he saw from Antonio Pierce going 5-4 and the Raider Nation crowd and swag and the fan base wanting Antonio Pierce, I think Tom Telesco, that's what I'm going to call him, Tom Telesco. I think he just knew, he's like, Antonio's the coach. I just have that feeling I know he's the head coach. So I'm not going to, break the mold. I'm not going to, force Mark Davis to bring in one of my guys, or I'm not going to go against the grain. I want this job. And I'm willing to work with Antonio Pierce. In my mind, as he said in the press conference, Antonio Pierce is my coach, or in my mind was the coach. He was already the coach of the Raiders. So that's a good thing to look into it. And that's why I believe he's all in with Antonio Pierce. And there's other press conferences from him with the chokers where he said it doesn't matter whether they have defensive skills, offensive skills. As a head coach, he wants a CEO of a team, a motivational person. So Tom Telesco is really all in with Antonio Pierce. And one good thing or bad, which you can say about Tom Telesco, is he doesn't want to be the front man. He doesn't want to be the face. Antonio Pierce may want to be the face and the front man and the branding and on the T-shirts and in the videos and in the hype videos, etc., so on and so forth. Like a Max Crosby is nowadays, no disrespect meant toward that. A lot of us just need to be in the spotlight, and we want to enjoy the spotlight while winning. But Tom Telesco, he doesn't seem like that type of person. Hence why they call him Pee-wee. And that's a good thing because, you know what? Let Antonio Pierce take the reins, deal with all that stuff while they work together behind the scenes. And then in a weird way to look at it, if Antonio Pierce struggles, then Tom Telesco can say, hey, he was already the head coach. You know, I came into that situation. Again, I mean, but I'm not going to think that way. That's a negative way of think. That's called negative think. And I'm trying to avoid that recently, but it's hard to. And one other thing about the press conference that I noticed as well is Mark Davis, for many years, always wanted to be in front of the cameras as well. In every press conference, whether it be General Manager Reggie McKenzie, Dennis Allen, and all that, he sat in between all of them and answered questions from the press about the team he's putting together with Gruden, whoever. He was always sitting down with them. In this one, Mark Davis went on stage, or he stood to the side, introduced them, walked off, took pictures, and then got off there and let those two men sit there without him in the middle or being a part of that. I think Mark Davis wants to take a step back. He doesn't want to be in front of the crowds anymore. He just wants to do it from the sidelines, which is a good thing. He learned his lesson. Because, you know, when you get in front of the crowds, you become bigger, sometimes they say, than the shield itself. And then if you're having a bad season, the fans come after you because you are the face. And I think Mark Davis is like, yeah, I don't know if I know I'm always going to be the face, but I don't technically know if I don't want to do this anymore. You know what? I'm hiring a general manager. He'll be the CEO. He'll be this. And I'm going to sit here. I'm going to hang out with my girlfriends in the upstairs while we watch the game and hope for victories. So it was just interesting to note. That's from my perspective. Now, in terms of the offensive coordinator search, and let me be honest with you guys, I'm excited for Tom Telesco. I understand why Mark Davis did it. In my previous video, I explained why I believe he hired him in the fashion that he did. You guys can go back and watch that in a little bit if you missed any of that. Now, on the offensive coordinator search, again, I haven't been up to date with every single news like many of you have, but that's okay. But I believe Marvin Lewis, the ex-Bengals coach, is officially on the Raiders roster, not as offensive coordinator, but as like an assistant, maybe interim head coach, a senior offensive assistant, Marvin Lewis, the guy for the Bengals who's like a mentor to Antonio Pierce. So that's a very interesting faction. And another little bit of news that I haven't spoke about is like Richard Sherman and all these Patriots are always like a part of this team the last couple of years. And it hasn't worked out, in my opinion, on many occasions. And we got rid of McDaniels, and then we had Tom Brady still trying to buy the team, but legally, I don't think that went anywhere. I don't think he was able to, or whatever, because Mark Davis was trying to give him a discount to maybe be the face of the franchise and all that other stuff. And it just didn't happen because legally they were trying to do some shady stuff, give him a discount or however it worked, because maybe he don't really have money. But Tom Brady kind of disappeared, and there's no talk of that anymore. Then all of a sudden, Richard Sherman is there now, and he's being an advisor to Mark Davis and the Raiders and all of that other stuff. Well, where did that come from? Well, he's an ex-Raider. Okay, so he has a history and an understanding and a relationship with Mark Davis. I also used to play poker at the celebrity poker events and stuff like that many years back, and Richard Sherman did as well. I saw him at many events. I just never had the pleasure of walking up to him, taking a picture, and getting an autograph. And he started doing all these poker events, so he started living in Las Vegas, I believe, because he was a member with the Oakland Raiders. But he started living in Las Vegas, so he built up his friendship with Mark while playing poker and living that lifestyle. And so they were always connected. And then I think Tom Brady or somebody also vouched for him to be a part of the franchise. And since he's an ex-Raider, once a Raider, always a Raider, I think that's what, because Mark has a respect for him. But publicly, it's just we keep thinking about Patriots. And we're kind of, in my opinion, we're trying to wash ourselves with some of that stuff because we got Antonio Pierce and we got the Raider swag now. I want to get rid of some of that other stuff, man. But I don't have any disrespect toward Richard Sherman. I just don't know how he got such a high position. Basically, it feels like, and I know it's not true, but he's having the knowledge of hiring the general manager, maybe of validating Antonio Pierce, and he's definitely in Mark's ear. When there's other people, maybe a Tim Brown or whatever, that I know they're in Mark's ear, but it seems like Richard Sherman is much more closer. And not that it's a bad thing, but I always fear the worst. But it's okay. It's just interesting how he went up the ranks so quickly. And we've had so many damn Patriots for a while now. I'm kind of soured on that. But he's a Raider. He played great for the Raiders. So I'm going to leave it as is. But it's just an interesting tid note. If anything goes wrong, we got to blame the Patriots side of him. If you know what I'm saying. But they're looking at offensive coordinators, and one of the candidate favorites is, it might be Ben Johnson that I've heard about, but it's that Arizona Cardinals coach. I think he had a second interview the other day. I would like that. I would like him to be our offensive coordinator, the guy that coached the Arizona Cardinals. But let's be honest, his skill set at Texas Tech, I forgot his name, forgive me, guys. My brain is really bad. But he coached at Texas Tech, and, you know, he had Kyler Murray and stuff like that. And Kyler Murray is staying with the Cardinals, I believe. And he tends to work with athletic quarterbacks, and let's just call it black quarterbacks. But there are white athletic quarterbacks like Josh Allen. On the last episode, at the end of it, I'm like, well, I want a black quarterback. That's such a funny statement. But he tends to work with the athletic quarterbacks, and there's rumors around, again, that Justin Fields from Chicago might be our quarterback on the free agent veteran market. But I still believe that Mark Davis doesn't have a lot of money, and I still believe that we're probably going to draft somebody. But again, if we get him as our offensive coordinator, he's going to go after one of those skilled, athletic, franchise-changing quarterbacks, whether it be moving up in the first round, which you might not get one of them, or staying pat and you get somebody that might have went in the second round, but you get him in the first round. Again, we're going to have a lot of talks about that in the upcoming Raiders Roundtable and stuff, but that's the type of quarterback he leans for. So if he does become our offensive coordinator, expect some changes at the quarterback position. And expect a system that works well with a more athletic quarterback. And then what would that mean for Aiden O'Connell and all that? Maybe it's camp competition, but you would think if he always has worked with a system that has skilled athletic quarterbacks, the writing might be on the wall, and that we might be getting a Justin Fields type quarterback, you know, because he and Kyler Murray, I'm not saying they're equally like each other, but you could see it. I mean, are they both short? I'm not really sure. They're both skilled, athletic, can run around, improvise, make things happen. And they might both be like 5'10" or 11. I'm not exactly sure. I got to look that up. But hey, it's an interesting subject. But you know what? I wouldn't mind having him as the offensive coordinator. He'll definitely put a lot of wide receivers out there. That's what he did in Arizona. He tries to get all these wide receivers going in and out. And then in the press conference, just to reiterate that for the ending, they did mention that what do they expect besides 24 points on offense? They expect a vertical game in the old Raider fashion that Al Davis says, speed and vertical. But Antonio Pierce also likes to run the ball to establish play action. And so that's what they want from whatever offensive coordinator they bring in. And I believe that guy from Arizona, forgive me, I can't think of his name. I think he'll do a good job, and I'm rooting for him. I don't know any other candidates. I haven't really looked into it, but I could see that one happening, and that would be interesting to me. Then just a little tidbit, Bill Belichick can't find a job. I wonder where that came from. Well, let's be honest. The culture has changed in the NFL. The culture has specifically changed in the NFL, and nobody wants that domineering Josh McDaniels, Bill Belichick, Patriot way BS. The players want to have fun. They want to enjoy each other. They want to love each other, and they want excitement, and they want to feel fresh. So people, in my opinion, it started with like a Dan Campbell, a former player defensively, with that passion, and now look where the Lions are. And it also continued with Antonio Pierce. And now the league is taking notice, and now that's what they're doing. You know, people like Mike McDaniels with excitement that understand the players, that don't just, rule with an iron fist, and it's working. So that's why he's out of a job. Plus all the controversy, plus he's older, and he's lost ever since he lost Tom Brady, let's be honest with you, except for maybe that one season where they went to the playoffs. But let's be honest. Antonio Pierce might have gotten rid of 2 Patriots out of the NFL. Sorry, guys, my nose is itching. Antonio Pierce got rid of Josh McDaniels, from their little argument or whatever happened. Josh McDaniels might not coach again, but I'm sure he will. He'll probably become the head coach of the Patriots. I don't know. Maybe they hired somebody already. I don't even know. But now Bill Belichick can't find a job. Call it the Raider effect. Yeah, we meshing over Patriots right now. Yay! Makes me feel good. All right, guys. So we got the NFL, the division round or whatever they call it, the conference championships today versus, I can't even remember who's playing. It's like the Chiefs and the Ravens. I'm sorry, the Lions. The Lions, the 49ers, the Chiefs, and the Ravens. And that's going to happen later today. But I watched an interesting video since I'm into conspiracy theories and all that. And I watched this video, and I'm going to show it to you guys right now.
Oh, well, look at that. It's Championship Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you want to hear my predictions. No, it's all fixed. We already know what's about to happen. The Ravens are going to beat the Chiefs, and the San Francisco 49ers are going to beat the Lions. It started off with the Super Bowl logo. Purple, red, past couple of years, same exact concept. This was at the beginning of the season. And then to add insult to injury, my buddy sends me this picture from a local news station saying the same shit. San Francisco 49ers at the Baltimore Ravens. But hey folks, I'll go one step further. With the Super Bowl logo conspiracy, them shoving it in our faces, the NFL scripted, whatever. We all know the color scheme tells you the opponents, but look at this. Each and every single logo, the color that is the least represented is the winner. The LA Rams had the least amount represented in their logo. The Chiefs had the least amount represented in theirs. And look at that. Red is the least represented in the Super Bowl logo. When you see the San Francisco 49ers raise the Lombardi Trophy, just know this was pre-planned.
Man, how insane is that theory, and how much true does it look? So by that theory that we just watched, guys, they're predicting the 49ers and the Ravens in the Super Bowl, and the 49ers to win based off of the color scheme of the logos. But that is an interesting theory, guys. Let me know your thoughts on it. And I'm going to say that thing looks legit to me. We all know the NFL's rigged. So let's find out. Or are they going to change it up on us because now that theory is popular? It went viral. And now everybody is seeing it. Are they going to change it up? Who knows? But it's going to be a fun week to watch, guys. And I'm going to go with the theory of the theory. I'm going to go with San Francisco winning. I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens winning and going to the Super Bowl. I'll predict a Super Bowl winner on the next show that I do, but I'm going to go with that theory, even though I don't believe the 49ers deserve to go to the Super Bowl. But they need another great white hope, and his name is Brock Purdy. They need to prop up the next Tom Brady. So there it is. I don't know. You guys let me know. But I would think that they would have Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl this year. Just my thought. And I guarantee you, no matter what happens with the Kansas City Chiefs, Taylor Swift will be the Super Bowl performer next year. That's what's happening. That's why she was propped up into the NFL and all that other stuff. The Taylor Swift effect. And on my other career channel, guys, link will be down below. I have a podcast each and every Thursday night where I interview guests, and I'm hoping to do something like that for the Raider channel. I will get to it. But I got a show called The Happy Alien Podcast, and we're going to talk about the Taylor Swift effect and AI with Taylor Swift in this week's video. So tune to that channel. Link is down below for that channel. And more importantly, guys, stay healthy, stay happy, stay blessed. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts on anything you would like me to talk about on our next video. And hopefully I will see you on a Raiders Roundtable this week. All right, guys. I'm so proud to be a Raider. I love the foundation we got going on, and I'm finally excited. And in this draft, we say it every year, but now we know it's official. This has got to be our draft. I love you, Raider Nation. I'm out.